Good morning, people. Goddamn bug on me already. I finished a book. I don't know. It seems like a long time ago that I finished this, but it was only a few days ago. Uh, Between Man and Beast. Subtitle: An Unlikely Explorer, the Evolution Debates, and the African Adventure that Took the Victorian World by Storm. I don't know that it really took the Victorian world by storm. I don't ever recall hearing this guy's name before. Paul Duchil or something like that. Uh, he's kind of a weird guy, but look at the cover. It's got a picture of a gorilla roaring, holding a rifle, and the gorilla has bent the barrel on the rifle. Who wouldn't buy this book? I bought it. I think I bought this in Chattanooga. And it looks like the author here, Monte Reel, has only written this book and one other. It wasn't that great. He uses a literary style that bounces back between stories that are happening simultaneously. You know, he'll end a chapter on kind of a cliffhanger, and then when you turn the page, he's somewhere else. He'll end the chapter in Africa, and when you turn the page, you're in England at the Geographic Society or something. He tries to tell a lot of stories in here. He brings in a lot of names. Abraham Lincoln's name is in here, and now, for fuck's sake, I can't even remember why he brought Lincoln into it. The guy, Paul Duchil, was just a nobody. He was a this Frenchman was living in Africa in one of the French colonies. He was a trader. This guy was his son. And he just drifts away from his father, goes on this African safari, and brings back tales of a gorilla, and goes to London and becomes famous. Goes to America and gives lectures, and then people start to doubt his word. They start to pick holes in his story, and really you don't know whether this guy did what he said he did or not. But it becomes so bothersome to him that he goes back and kind of redeems himself. And that's kind of the story here. I said that he's a nobody. He actually has at that time, he has a bad secret. He's an illegitimate child. His father was fooling around with some of the slaves on the plantations. So he was like an eighth black. At that, now nobody gives a fuck about that, but at that time it was a big deal. And the people that did find out kind of kept it secret for him. There was some interesting stuff in here. Let's get to my notes. There isn't many. This was published in 2013. This is a first edition, and this is also an autographed copy. There's a little weird autograph here, just scribbled, not unlike mine. 276 pages. Page 18. This is way back at page 18. I thought, man, this is going to be a great book, because they're including all this weird stuff. And my note here is Hannibal Hasdrubal, the Carthaginian nobility. They all started their names with H.A. And there is a book that I would love to get a hold of, written in the 5th century B.C., called The Voyage of Hanno. And I'll just read this came from the book. On the third day after our departure thence, Having sailed by those streams of fire, we arrived at a bay called the Southern Horn, at the bottom of which lay an island like the former, having a lake, and in this lake another island, full of savage people, the greater part of whom were women, whose bodies were hairy, and whom our interpreters called Gorillae. Though we pursued the men, we could not seize any of them, but all fled from us, escaping over the precipices, and defending themselves with stone. 3 women were, however, taken, but they attacked their conductors with their teeth and hands, and could not be prevailed upon to accompany us. Having killed them, we flayed them, and brought their skins with us to Carthage. We did not sail further on, our provisions failing us. And I've run into this before, about the voyage of Hanno. And, of course, the 5th century BC means it's 500. And it's, I don't know why the guy says BC. It's BCE now. I would love to find that book. And maybe when I get back to Civilization in Michigan, I will go to King Book and I will ask Deborah there if they have a copy of that. Second paragraph, page 30. Chimpanzees had been known to European scientists since 1699, when an English anatomist dissected a specimen collected in West Africa. And orangutans had first been described by an English traveler to Borneo in 1712. A few decades later, when Carl Linnaeus developed the biological classification system that is still used today, he labeled humans as primates along with the apes. He believed humans to be essentially unique, and he knew grouping men with apes would trouble people. "It is not pleasing to me that I must place humans among the primates," he wrote to a friend in 1747, "but man is intimately familiar with himself. Let's not quibble over words. It will be the same to me whatever name is applied, but I desperately seek from you and the whole world a general difference between men and simians from the principles of natural history. I certainly know of none. If only someone might tell me one." Oh, and yeah, like a lot of exploration, traveling books that I have read, there's a lot of shooting of gorillas in this book. This Paul guy seems to have turned a new leaf towards the end of the book, and he doesn't want to shoot the gorillas anymore. But it always bothers me to read about that. Of course, you can say that these people didn't know any better, but some of them did. That's it. I'm into another book already. I'm not doing real well in this other book. It may be a rare time that I stop reading a book and begin another one. What's wrong with this book? I don't know. It's actually a bestseller. I cannot put my finger on what's bothering me about this book. I don't know. I'm past page 100 in this other book, but I don't know. Thanks for watching.